never gonna be the way you're dreaming. It's gonna seem so far, it's gonna feel so hard, until you want the work more than the reward. Do you want the work more than the reward? It's a magical thing. Love never gonna be the way you're dreaming. It's gonna seem so hard, it's gonna feel so hard, until you want the work more than the reward. Until you stop asking, oh, what is it all for? Do you want the work more than the reward? James DeCoo! Welcome to Naked Faith, everybody. It's nice to see you all here. Hello, hello, hello. 3 sections, hello. It's nice, very orderly tonight. Welcome to Naked Faith. My name is Andrew. I'm going to be one of your hosts for this evening. And back here, well, that's Josh, and he's going to be your other host for the evening. Everybody say, hi, Josh. Hi, Josh. Oh, hi. If you've never been to Naked Faith before, that's great, because we're happy to have you here. If you have been to Naked Faith before, that's also great, because we're happy to have you here. Oof. Wasn't my best line. Josh?
Folks, we're just happy to have you here.
Naked Faith is an alternative worship service aimed at youth and young adults, but open to everybody. So all are welcome here. What we do each month is normally the third Friday of the month, but surprise, this is the fourth Friday of the month. Because last Friday was a long weekend. We don't like to do it on the long weekend. But normally the third Friday of every month, we gather in a church, we sing music, we talk about a theme, and that's kind of what we do. And then after the service, the youth play games, the young adults go to a nearby pub, and it's just a merry time all over. Right, Josh?
Yeah, and we're just happy to have you here.
So that's really all I want to say in terms of welcome. Anything you want to say, Josh?
Folks, I'm happy to have you here.
Oh, that was personal.
Yeah.
Everybody say thanks, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you, Jonah, you're welcome.
All right, well, before we dive into the worship, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the land that we worship on, that we gather on, that we get to do Naked Faith on. So I want to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. And to move us into our time of worship, I am going to invite somebody up to light our Christ candle, as we like to do. And as I am prone to do, I never think of who's going to do this before I'm up here talking about somebody who's going to do it. And I'm just kind of trying to stall for time as I'm scanning who's here and trying to decide who I'm going to get to do it. Who is that in the back? I can't see you very well. Who has their hand up? What? Hilda. Oh, Hilda. Okay, thank you. The lights make it sometimes hard to see people's faces. Hilda, would you like to come up and light our Christ candle? Please. Come on up.
Hilda, we're happy to have you here.
We are happy to have you here. There is a lighter right there. It should be just set. You just click it and it goes. Hopefully. Remember last month when Nicole had such a hard time with it? Sorry, Nicole. Thank you, Hilda. All right, now we're going to do something a little different that we haven't done in a long time at Naked Faith, because this is the month of love. And one of the things that Sunday worship often does is we pass the peace. For those who don't know what that means, it really just means we're going to take a few minutes to say hello to your neighbor, hello to your friends. You can give them a hug, you can give them a handshake, you can just wave. You can be the initiator of what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with this, just stay seated and people will leave you alone. So I would ask everybody else to respect each other's boundaries around that. But let's take a few minutes. Let's say hello to each other. Let's pass the peace, everybody. You're allowed to stand up and, go talk to each other. We'll give you a few minutes. Thank you. I do need that. Let's hug them at the same time. All right. Oh. Now, I was going to say if you want to remain standing, but y'all sat down. Let's be upstanding as you are able. Let's sing the next song together. This one you know, or you might know, I should say. I shouldn't make assumptions. All right, let's sing a cute little song together, shall we? Okay? All right. You ready to sing? Are you ready to sing? Yeah! See, I always do that. I always get everyone hyped up, and then the song starts so softly. It's like, everyone's hyped. Sorry. We'll get hyped again in a second. Isaac. Nice.
All we are and all we have, our endless love goes on and on. And all we are and all we have, our endless love goes on and on and on and on and on. Sing praise to the morning rain. Take your heart on a slower train and show the world the strength born from pain. Take a measure of all you are. You've got your faults, we've got ours, but I believe in grace and all I need. Oh, 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 oh. All we are and all we have, our endless love goes on and on. And all we are and all we have, our endless love goes on and on and on and on and on.
Do you know what I just realized halfway through this song? Brenda brought the twinkle lights, the Christmas lights for us to set up. That's that. That's just the green bin right there. I did a good job setting them up. I just left the bin right there. Sorry, Kirsten, that kind of ruins your whole aesthetic over there. Anyway, no one's perfect, okay? Even me. Thanks, Kirsten. That's better. All right. As you know, we sometimes like to throw a little sneaky surprise in the middle of this song. So this one is themed around love. Surprise. 1, 2, 3.
This thing called love, I can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get round to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing called love, it cries in a cradle all night. It swings, it jives, shakes all over like a jellyfish. It's kind of like it. Crazy little thing called love. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Darkness comes and the world's undone. Will you take
goes on and on. And all we have, and all we have, our endless love goes on and on and on and on and on.
Thanks, everybody. You may be seated. You know, sometimes when I think about that line, you may be seated, I think, is there going to be one person that just stays standing and says, no, thank you? There you go. You can stay standing if you want. Just maybe not if you're in front of other people. That would be pretty rude. But you guys are in the back. You can do whatever you want. All right. So in February, if you didn't know, Valentine's Day happens. And regardless of, yeah! I know, some people are fans of Valentine's Day, some people aren't. But regardless of that, we use that opportunity often, almost every February I think we've ever done Naked Faith, we talk about love in some fashion. We try to put different twists on it, different spins on it, because it's a big concept and it's an important concept, and so we like to talk about it. So we were trying to figure out what kind of twist we can put on it this year, so that's a little bit unique, a little bit different, not something you've heard before. So we decided to get all sad about it and talk about grief and loss. Sorry about that. No, actually, I'm not sorry. I think it is a really important topic. It's kind of the shadow side of love that we will talk about. And immediately going down this road talking about love and loss, it begs the question that most people probably ask at some point in their life. Why do we love if we know it's followed by loss? This is similar. Last month, for those of you who were here, when we talked about prayer, we asked, why do we do it if we don't necessarily see a tangible outcome? What's the point if nothing happens? Now, as a quick recap, we talked about it's not necessarily about the outcome, it's about the process. It's this whole thing. It's a similar answer, I think, here. But I think it's still a valid question. Why love if we just lose the person or thing we love at some point? And this is the role of fear, something else we talked about this year. We are afraid of loss. I think generally that's a safe thing to say as humans. We're afraid of loss. The fear of this ultimate outcome can prevent us from ever taking the first step into actually exploring something. This is where we try to protect ourselves. We hold ourselves back in order to not get hurt. And so we just want to get your brains thinking a little bit. How many times have you held back due to the fear of losing something? Losing your pride, losing a relationship, having to face potential rejection? How many times have you held back from being truly vulnerable due to the fear of being hurt or losing something in that relationship or losing that relationship totally? Take a minute, let that percolate as I hand the microphone to Josh.
Hi. Hi. Well, when Andrew and I were planning the script, I was really adamant about just wanting to introduce the talk to your neighbor bit again because it's become my favorite bit. So, talk to your neighbor. The questions today are, what is the point of loving if loss might be inevitable? Are love and loss tied for you? Are you able to separate those experiences? Take some time, chat with your neighbor. Come chat with me. Anyways, we'll give you some time. I'll let you know when that time is up. Time's up. My favorite bit. No, okay, go talk. Do we want more time? Okay. All right, folks, one more minute, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, folks. I hope that we were able to have some meaningful conversations. And if you didn't, well, there's always next month, because we're going to keep doing this because it's my favorite bit. All right.
Most of the time, it's just the timing of the seasons. So you know I worry, well you're all I have to lose.
And I should change this way of thinking, but all my fears are facts of life. But I could die tomorrow. You'll be close behind. Oh, 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 close behind.
I live my life in years to come to prepare myself for sorrow. So I won't worry when I crumble at your feet. It's something sinister to love without regard for dear tomorrow. To search for worry is to love without deceit.
And I should change this way of thinking, but all my fears are facts of life. But I could die tomorrow. You'll be close behind. Oh, oh, change this way of thinking, that all my fears are facts in life, but I could die tomorrow. You'll be close behind. So I fill my days with thinking, though I'm years from my true time, I could die tomorrow. You'll be close behind. Close behind.
It can be a gamble to care for people other than yourself. You don't have control over everything. There is inherent risks. You're opening yourself up to a greater realm of unpredictability and a loss of control. So there's a necessary leap of faith anytime we open up ourselves to love. And it's not about reciprocating or guaranteeing some kind of return of investment. You can love unconditionally without strings, without expectation or knowledge of reciprocity. It's like we talked about with prayer. There was something powerful in the process of it, without expectation of some kind of specific outcome. It's like the Jimmy Eat World song we opened with. It talks about the work we put in, the journey we go on, and not about the reward or asking for what it's all for. Love is blind, which means that it doesn't need to be witnessed or received to be valid and meaningful. Love is something that is often done with and another and around others, but it's just as profound when it's fostered just on your own, in a single person. And this brings up another important aspect of love. Yes, it's beautiful to have love and give love to others. However, love should be directed inwards. We are, just as ourselves, deserving of the kind of love we would give out. We can both be lost and found, and we can experience love and loss within our own person. We can experience, we make mistakes, we falter, we may lose parts of ourselves at different times, and yet that doesn't mean that we are suddenly unworthy or exempt of love. What a shame it would be to spend our time looking for love when we were capable of giving it to ourselves the whole time. Society often dictates what is normal, and I think that there are certainly pressures to live a certain way, a way to love a certain way. It can be overwhelming, especially if you don't fit into a box set up for you. But don't be afraid to take that leap of faith, to love the way you love, to love yourself for who you genuinely are. When we love ourselves unconditionally, we open the door to do that for others. We open the door to do that.
I lost my train of thought.
Love in loss is hard, I think, and painful to find.
In the process of losing something, you find out what you hold on to.
I find sometimes you gotta lose something to find perspective, or new doors, new friendships with Simon, just to appreciate, look through life with new lenses.
I think that's a pretty common narrative, the idea that you need to, after dealing with something really, really hard, I find things that you do, you appreciate about yourself, things you can do to love yourself, and things you do to take care of yourself.
I lost my dog 6 years ago, and there are still nights that that loss is hard.
So for me, I found love in losing my dog of 14 years. by looking at all the videos and all the memories that I had of her and thinking about just kind of how lucky I was to have such an amazing dog and such an amazing experience with her.
So, you know, for me, it's loving my dogs. I know that that comes with loss, and it always will. But it's worth it.
So probably the most profound loss that I've ever felt in my life was when my dad died. I was 7.5 months pregnant with our youngest child, super emotional, hormonal, and had never really experienced a loss of that magnitude before. And so initially I was kind of grieving on my own because I didn't really know what grief was supposed to look like and had never really experienced it before.
So my grandmother passed about 3 years ago. You can receive a lot of condolence from many other people, such as like patting on your shoulder, a simple word of comfort, or just being your company without saying a word.
I also found love within our community, the church world as well as my other social world, where folks just came out of the woodwork and made space for me to share stories about my dad, the good and the bad. Would ask sort of questions that I hadn't really thought about, and I didn't realize how many people wanted to hear the stories or wanted to create space for me to tell those stories.
And so I'd say with losing my grandpa has definitely gave me a better relationship with all my best friends and my girlfriend and my brothers and even other parts of the family, because you end up taking the time and realizing that time's too short.
I lost a really good friend when I was about 19. She was one of my best friends, and her loss actually taught me the most about love. So I learned to really treasure my friendships and the people that I love more than anything else in my life. And so her loss has actually brought more love into my life than I ever would have experienced otherwise.
In that moment, or in the aftermath of it, you figure out what you reach out for, what you hold on to, and what you look for, I guess.
We can never bring the lost one back, even though we cry a river. Yet, your love and our love can always flow as an endless river if we do care and have compassion to other people.
You realize that even though this really crappy thing happened, and I lost somebody I wasn't ready to lose yet, just how much love there is out there and how many people were walking with us as we were going through this.
But I think what substantiates love is the loss. It's losing something that makes you appreciate it, and then further points out just how much that thing, that person, that animal meant to you.
How lucky I am to have
something that makes saying goodbye so hard.
So hard. I might have to cut this part out.
Something that makes saying goodbye so hard.
Leanne's not even here. She really got you, didn't she? I'd like to invite Reverend Tracy up from St. Thomas. Oh, there you are. Tracy! Tracy's going to lead us in prayer and then lead us into the Lord's Prayer.
Awesome. The Lord's Prayer tonight is going to be an alternative version, so it will be up on the... Oh, sorry, I hurt my ribs, and that was weird. It's going to be up on the screen when I... carry on. I'm going to pray first, and then I'll lead us into that. Let us pray. In a world that is closed in, where we focus on only our own, seeing our own needs, we pray for a world that is open, looking outwards, seeing beyond ourselves. May this be holy transformation. In a world where the few hold so much power, where food and opportunity is so unfairly divided, we pray for a world that shares, recognizing each other's needs and sharing each problem together. May this be holy transformation. In a world where conflict is the chosen way and might feed every prejudice, we pray for a world that lives in peace, where differences are celebrated and variety brings wholeness. May this be holy transformation. In a world whose value is financial and global warming is the imaging of fools, we pray for a world that values what it has and values its diversity and beauty as a blessing from you. May this be a holy transformation. O sacred love, you encounter us in places where we seek you and in places where we flee from you. Ease our fears. Open our ears and eyes to you, wherever and in whomever you reveal yourself to us. Prepare us to journey as you call. Holy One, we know you hear all our prayers, whether they are spoken aloud or held silently in our hearts. And so we continue praying by speaking together the Lord's Prayer. Our Creator, who is in the heavens, may your name be made holy. May your dominion come. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today the bread we need, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors. And do not put us to the test, but rescue us from evil. For yours is the dominion and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Is my guitar having troubles? Like something looks wrong from how Kaylee's looking at me. I fixed it. Wasn't plugged in all the way. Who would have thunk it? All right, sorry for that brief aside. We shall now sing.
Heard the door before I saw you, and I had dreamed of that. You said my name and I remembered how your voice sounds. I can't forget the way you looked at me, and I was scared by that. It's when I felt you were slipping away, away.
You like you know me, darling. Maybe I'm scared by that, but now I'm standing in your doorway and I know it's been a long time. I'm trying to stop, but I keep staring at you, and you're staring right back. I know we both try to run, but it's right, and I'm right. And I close my eyes, pray, hoping someone hears me. I've got nothing left. Heaven knows it's our one last chance. Hang on to me for as long as you can. Pull me in,
thought you lose your grip. Never thought you let me slip away.
We fought so hard to have one more chance for this. Don't lose your grip. Hang on to me for as long as you can. Pull me in, pull me in. Hang on, I'll hang on for as long as I can. Pull me in, pull me in.
Pull me in, pull me in.
Just had to swap hands there. This is one of my favorite ideas related to this theme, is this idea that grief is the shadow side of love. This is absolutely a line that I stole from my therapist, and now I use it with all of my clients. This is what we call the chain of therapy, my friends. But it was absolutely just that grief is the shadow side of love. Has anybody seen Inside Out? Yeah, it's a few years old now. You should have seen it. Great Pixar movie. You know how they talk about, I don't know, spoilers, I guess. But like at the end, there's this fear that's both sadness and happiness, and it's like, it's not bad, it's just the duality. That's kind of what we're talking about here. I think often we think love and hate as opposites. But really what we want to look at here is that love and loss, love and grief, are kind of the mirror images of each other. They're two parts of the same thing. To love is to experience loss, to grieve is to experience love. At the center of grief and love, the central binding agent is the person. Both are powerful, spiritual, and profound ways of honoring that person. Again, linking last month when we talked about prayer and all these different forms of prayer, love is an act of prayer. And if love is an act of prayer, so is grief. We need both. Often, I think, as humans, understandably, we have this tendency to push away the negative, the unpleasant. We avoid grief, we avoid feeling, or even talking about significant loss. But we need to be able to explore the shadow side as much as we explore the light side. We don't resent the moon for taking the sun away. We learn to appreciate the night, because having the sun rise means knowing it will set. Do you know who came up with that quote? No, it wasn't me. It was Josh Carr. My script, this is literally my script right here, says, dash, Josh Carr, 2023. I'm so smart. Dang, dude. Tee-hee. But we do think it's really important to recognize that the space loss takes up in the absence of love hits hard because we had such a profound emotional stake in the love that we lived. Anybody watching The Last of Us? Oh yeah, it's too. Some of you are too young, inappropriate. Great show, nice job, Caitlin. You made it. But in the third episode, no spoilers, but there, the third episode was a beautiful love story, and the one line is, it was the one character says to the other, "I was never afraid until I met you." And I think that really speaks to what we're talking about. We can think of love and loss as if we're on a scale, and both ends are necessary to sustain the balance. I think sometimes it would be nice, we probably all think that sometimes it would be nice to take away the loss and not have to experience it, but the scales would tip. Life has always been a balancing act, but it's important to experience it all. It's what makes us human. It's what defines us. It's what allows us for a short time here to make meaning in the things we do. And it can be hard, But like we've said before, often the hardest things are most worth doing. We didn't come up with that quote. People have said that before, but it's still pretty good. I think one of the things that has always stuck with me, again, when thinking about grief as this act of love, is when I learned that when you're grieving death, what you're actually kind of doing is you're not necessarily looking at it as a loss necessarily of relationship, but it's learning to redefine the relationship. It's learning to figure out, well, what does this relationship mean now? Just because the person is no longer on this material plane with us, it doesn't mean that the relationship is over. And that always really stuck with me as a really powerful experience of grief, of figuring out, well, what does it mean to still hold this person in your heart, to still have them kind of etched upon your soul. I think this has relevance in our faith as well, because we often talk about and experience the divine as love, and love as divine. And we've also talked about before, especially last month, we talked about this. Often in the United Church, we talk about how we don't necessarily believe in an interventionist God, meaning we don't believe in a God who's necessarily all-powerful, all-knowing, who will swoop in, make all the bad things better in our life. Instead, I think we look at this as a God who walks with us, who is in relationship with us. And just like with any relationship, we're going to experience losses within this. We will feel disappointed. We will feel let down. We will have times where we feel like God didn't show up in the way we needed. There might even be times where we felt a total loss of connection from our spirituality. And I think this is important to acknowledge and to name, that love and faith we experience are also not immune from loss. The doubt, the disappointment, the anger, it's all a part of this process, this relationship. It's kind of the shadow side of faith. But shadow isn't meant in a negative sense here. I think it's all part of exploring this relationship throughout our lives. And if we don't name that shadow side, if we don't name these difficult aspects, we're not really being honest or vulnerable about what relationship is actually like. Love and loss are bound together. This means embracing, it's not what I meant to say yet, love and loss are bound together. It doesn't have to be all positive, all sunshine and roses, and that's okay. At the end of the day, this means embracing love within all of its imperfections, loving each other with all of our imperfections. We will experience loss, we will disappoint each other, and that's okay. And so we're going to sing a song about that, and as we get ready for that, I'm going to give you an analogy. And no, it's not from Star Wars. Thank you very much. It's from Lord of the Rings. You know Aragorn and Arwen? Obviously, everybody knows this. For those who don't know, Aragorn is a mortal man, although he's like he's like 88 in the movies or something, and still very handsome, Viggo Mortensen. Anyway, Aragorn is a mortal man, only going to live, 150 years that these men in Lord of the Rings live. And Arwen is an elf. They live basically forever, immortality. But they still have a relationship, even knowing that there's going to be loss, that he's not going to live nearly as long as her. But they still choose to be together, even though there's going to be loss. I'm not taking questions from the audience, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. Ready? Okay. Now we're going to sing a song not about Lord of the Rings. But wouldn't that be cool? There are songs about Lord of the Rings. Led Zeppelin, Misty Mountain Hop. Ed Sheeran, what's that song called? Ice and Fire. Icy Fire. Icy Fire. George R.R. Martin, A Song of Icy Fires.
Wrong one. There were no hobbits in space. I dare you to. I guess the Ewoks, actually. Oh no. Oh, my world is rocked.
Oh, there it is. And Yoda, somebody said. Kind of a hobbit.
Oh, did someone bring up Yoda? Do you guys want to hear my Yoda impression? Yes. Yeah, that's all. That's just a taste. We can talk about Yoda later if you want.
You raised the light when it was frightening. Calmed the storm when it was rising. Found me here where I was hiding. All I have is here and now.
The ground beneath our feet has disappeared. I'll be here beside you, always be right near you. Remember me, won't you?
I know we've all got our problems. It's a blessing that we've made it here so far. If you lay here in these arms tonight, I promise to take you as you are. When I was reaching out in the dark, the streets below just looked so far. When I forgot everything that I was, all I needed was your love.
Beneath our feet is so confusing. For a second we are fighting. When it's late in the evening, don't let me go, dear.
No, we've all got our problems. It's a blessing that we've made it here so far. Lay here in these arms tonight, I promise to take you as you are. Take you as you are, as you are. Take you as you are, as you are. Take you as you are, as you are. Ooh, as you are. I know we've all got our problems. It's a blessing that we've made it here so far. If you lay here in these arms tonight, I promise to take you as you are. I know we've all got our problems. It's a blessing that we've made it here so far. If you lay here in these arms tonight, I promise to take you as you are.
Wow. That was fun. I enjoyed that one. That was exciting. Well, I hope you've gotten something out of this, some kind of takeaway. I think for me, I know sometimes I just summarize, but I'm just going to share with you my takeaway from tonight. Because I actually had only seen parts of the video. I hadn't seen the whole thing all the way through. Because Leanne was working on it, and she's amazing. And she couldn't be here tonight, but I think she did a wonderful job. You want me to say that? I think just the variety of experiences people have had with love and loss, and that I think it was kind of I don't want to say a weird question, but maybe an unexpected question. I talked to a couple of people who were in the video, and most people didn't know the question ahead of time, and I don't think they were necessarily seeing that one coming. And I think everybody did a great job being able to answer it, and that everybody had something to answer. It really speaks to the universality of this theme. And I think just really when people talked about what they learned from the losses they'd had and how that made them actually better in relationships, that taught them about love, about friendship, about relationship. I don't know, that theme just really stuck with me because I think not only like I was saying earlier, love and loss are inherently bound together. I think they're two sides of the same coin, that they're actually, loss is essential in order to learn how to love effectively. I think there's something to that. So that's my takeaway. I hope you have a takeaway. We're going to sing you a couple more songs, and then we're going to go do other stuff. All right? How does that sound? Okay. That's the perfect response. Okay, whatever. Thank you, Smith. All right, now I'm on this microphone. You just can't keep up. None of you can keep up. You never know where I'm going to end up. All right. No, amp's not on. Thought I was so ready for that one. Just give it a second. It's got to warm up, okay? Just give it a second. It's going to be fine, everybody.
Folks, our transitions were really great last month, so if you could just think back to that.
My guitar is also still in drop D. This isn't going so smoothly, my friends. Nicole just quietly said to me, "Don't lose heart." Thanks, Nicole. You're right. Everything's fine. That sounds more in tune, doesn't it? Thanks. All right. Here's a song we wrote as the Naked Faith Band.
I've been lost before. I've taken a few too many left turns.
I've been full of doubt, self-hatred, that old familiar wheelchairs.
I'm looking for a sign, a guide to give me hope, something to tell me which way to go. And yet we do not lose heart, hourly we waste away. Inwardly we'll read it day by day. And yet we do not lose heart, hourly we waste away. Inwardly we'll read it day by day.
The world's a pretty place, full of darkness, trauma, and I've been full of rage. Might my expectations be too high again?
I'm looking for a sign, a guide to give me hope, someone to tell me keep on going. And yet we do not lose heart, outwardly we waste away. Inwardly we're renewed day by day. And yet we do not lose heart, outwardly we waste away. Inwardly we're renewed day by day. Renewed day by day. God is our strength and ever-present help. 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 And yet we do not lose heart, outwardly we waste away. Inwardly we're renewed day by day. And yet we do not lose heart, outwardly we waste away. Inwardly we're renewed day by day. And yet we do not lose heart, outwardly we waste away.
we must say thank you to people for helping make this service possible. Because, believe it or not, we don't do it alone. So this is how we do it. We start clapping. We're going to put our hands together, and we're going to keep clapping. I'm going to try to remember every... Oh, don't start yet. I'm not ready. Oh, I got so nervous there for a second. I'm going to try to list all the people that I can, and then we'll probably have to take a break, and then we'll keep going. Okay? I just want you to know what you're in for. Okay, now we can start. Thank you, first of all, to St. Thomas United Church for hosting and all the volunteers for cooking and serving dinner to us. Thank you so much. Thank you to Tracy for, being Tracy, but also for leading us in prayer tonight. Thank you to Brenda for all her work behind the scenes. Thanks to Leanne for making the video. Special thanks to James DeCouve for helping film the video. Thanks to the Naked Faith Band for being wonderful people and just wonderful musicians, and it's just so much fun to play with them. Thanks to Simon for running the live stream back there and helping us with setup. Thank you to all of you for coming and just, being great. Thanks to Josh for being my co-band leader. Joshua, everybody. Hey-oh! Thank you. Keep going. I'm not even done. Thank you to the person who works tirelessly all day long, makes us sound way better than we have ever any business sounding. Kaylee, Sonic Boom Curtin! Woo! And thanks to Joanna for being my wife and Charlie for being my son. They couldn't be here tonight, but they'll be here next month. But it's yeah. I'll get to that. Don't worry. Yeah.
And thank you to Andrew for leading the Naked Faith Band.
Thank you. I promise, I felt like it looked like I was just waiting for that, but I wasn't. I was trying to remember what I was supposed to say next. I'm not going to say anything until Josh thanks me. It's not what I was doing.
Everybody compliment Andrew's shoes. He's wearing his regular Converse instead of his orthopedic ones. You look very handsome.
I don't like you most of the time. Unbelievable. Anyways, did I miss anybody? Great. Okay. I think announcements. Whoa! Look at this. Camp is happening, everybody. Camp. Somebody's making an announcement? Gavin! Come on up! Hey, Gavin!
Okay, a microphone. I haven't talked to a microphone in ages.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Let me unfold my paper. Right, so youth camp. When is it? June 2nd to 4th, but you can read that on the board. The theme is Focus Your Lens, and it's for youth and young adults. And camp is great. We talk about a theme, we eat tasty food, and we just have fun and do fun activities. So yeah, youth and young adults, you guys should come to camp this year because it's awesome.
Great job, Gavin. Thank you, Gavin. Good job. You nailed it. All right. Dirty Theology, that's for young adults. This is where you talk about interesting topics. Isn't that right, Zoe? Interesting. The next one is on Sunday, March 5th at 6 p.m., still at the center? Yes. The next Young Adult Pub Night, I'm starting to lose my voice, is on Thursday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Bull and Finch. And the next Naked Faith is on Friday, March 17th at the Living Spirit United Church building. Now, this is a very special Naked Faith, and let me tell you why. Not because it's St. Patrick's Day, though that's pretty fun too, but... What's that? No, even better than that, Tracy.
Actually, Tracy was right. It is Pi Day. That's what we're doing.
He pranked me again. Who gave Josh a mic? It is Charlie Nicholson's birthday. He turns 2 years old, my little guy, because Brendan and I are terrible at dates and we plan Naked Faith on the same day as his birthday. But we're making the most of it. It's okay. It's fine. he's not going to be upset about it. He's going to think it's great. So basically, the next Naked Faith is a big birthday bash for Charlie. So it's going to be exciting. So you should all come. Now, we'll still have a theme and everything. Like, it's still going to be Naked Faith. Because I think if we put too much attention on him, he'll get shy and cry. So, you know, it's a balance. But it's going to be super fun. It's going to be his birthday bash. Basically, the band is just going to learn all of his favorite songs, which, don't be alarmed, he has great taste in music. We're going to be playing songs like Enter Sandman by Metallica. I can't tell you one of the other ones because I haven't figured out how to make the lyrics appropriate, which sounds bad because he's 2. But we can't really play it at a church service. You know, we get away with a lot of Naked Faith. We can't get away with this one. It's by Weezer.
We'll find a way. And also because it's St. Patrick's Day, we're going to talk in an Irish accent the whole time.
The whole time.
We're going to do it the whole time. Welcome to Naked Faith. Okay, and also I need to run this by you guys. I didn't talk to Andrew about this. Okay, every year, because Charlie's birthday is on St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick's Day celebrates the day that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. Now, that could be metaphorical or literal. I like to think of it as literal. So what we're going to do is everybody bring rubber snakes, and we're going to go throw rubber snakes at Charlie on his birthday, because it's St. Patrick's Day, and every year I petition for this, and Andrew always says no, but I think it'd be really funny. So everybody can bring rubber snakes and talk in Irish accents, and we'll throw them at Charlie, and it'll be a great old day. All right, that's it.
Oh, my Lord. You can bring rubber snakes, but please don't throw them at my son. Let's not traumatize the poor child.
No. We'll start a Facebook group. Andrew just won't be a part of it.
You can throw them at me. Yeah, see, no mic for Josh
No.
anymore.
See, it's not your birthday.
Just cut
it's
him
Charlie's.
off back
it's
there.
Not your
He
birthday.
doesn't get any
Throwing
more
snakes
power.
At the birthday
this
boy.
conversation is over, Joshua. The love between us is lost.
Hey, you don't mean that.
I don't mean that. You're right. I love you, buddy.
I'm talking in an Irish accent the rest of the night.
All right, that's enough. Let's sing our last song, shall we? Okay, everybody, be upstanding as you are able. If you want, come up, dance. We're singing a little bit of a different song because we already sang Jimmy Eat World. So we thought, let's sing a song about love. And I just thought it was so funny to sing the lyrics, I'm a hunk of burning love in church. So, Naked Faith, everybody. Let's do it.
Lord Almighty, feel my temperature rising. Higher and higher, burning through my soul.
You're gonna set me on fire. Brain is flaming, I don't know which way to go.
Kisses lift me higher, sweet song of a choir. Light my morning sky, burning low.
I feel my temperature rising, yeah. Help me, I'm flaming, I must be 109.
Burning, 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 nothing can cool me. Just my turning to smoke, but I feel fine. 'Cause kisses lift me higher, like a sweet song of a choir. They light my morning sky, burning love. Burning love. Kisses lift me higher, like a sweet song of a choir. They light my morning sky, burning love. hunka, hunka, burning love. I'm just a hunka, hunka, burning love. Just a hunka, hunka, burning love. Just a hunka, hunka, burning love. Oh! All right, thank you very much. That's Naked Faith, thank you for being here. If you're a youth, meet up in the hall in about 10-15 minutes. You're going to play some youth games. If you're a young adult, find Zoe. You're going to go to a nearby pub, and you're going to hang out and buy some pizza. And the rest of you, get out of here. Thanks for coming, everybody. Good night.